We live on this planet in an ecosystem with other plants and animals and other forms of life. This ecosystem is like a spider web. Every strand, a species. You take a few strands out and it will be fine. But if you keep breaking more and more strands, the entire web collapses. Sustainable human development on this planet is dependent on biodiversity conservation. But biodiversity conservation itself is quite challenging because you have to monitor that biodiversity. You need to know what animals and plants are present, how many of them, and how their populations are changing. This is extremely challenging because of the diversity of it all. There are over 1 million insects. Maybe there's more than 50,000 spider species already described and another 300,000 plant species. And all of them require very specific techniques and very niche knowledge to identify and tell apart. To do a complete biodiversity survey, it would take thousands of scientists working around the clock everywhere on the planet, and that is just not possible. So we asked the question, wouldn't it be nice to have something that is common among all forms of life, but still unique to every species? That something is DNA. DNA is constantly manufactured in every single cell of every single organism. And this DNA is also constantly being released outside through dead skin cells, through the poop, or even as you breathe the air out, it has DNA in it. We call this environmental DNA, or eDNA for short. I'm an eDNA scientist, and I study how we can analyze it. This eDNA, once out, can get washed with rainwater into rivers and lakes. Once it's in the river and lake, you can think of it as a biological soup, which you can filter simply with a syringe and a filter. You can then send this filter out to my lab, and within a week, I can tell you all the plants and animals around you whose DNA is in the sample. It's extremely scalable, it's cost-effective. My studies show that it is also even more sensitive than the conventional methods. So now we have a method that is more sensitive, cost-effective, and you don't need individual expertise for every single species. Now, I welcome you to imagine a future where you can monitor biodiversity in almost real time and really understand nature and discover the best ways in which we can live harmoniously and thrive together. Thank you.